Have you ever held a handful of weeds you just pulled from your garden? Roots still clinging to soil, leaves still wet with dew, and paused for just a second? Not because you were tired, but because something inside you whispered that these cursed little plants aren't as useless as everyone says. That instinct isn't wrong. There's a truth the pharmaceutical industry will never advertise to you. The very plants you've spent hundreds of dollars trying to eradicate from your lawn are actually some of the most powerful antibiotics nature has ever created. And I don't mean that as some romantic metaphor. I mean real, documented science. The compounds inside their leaves and roots can defeat bacterial strains that prescription drugs are increasingly powerless against. And if you're wondering which one scares me the most, well, scares the bacteria, I should say, just wait until I tell you about the weed sitting at number 2. As for number 1, it's growing right under your feet, and I guarantee you've stepped on it at least once this week. Number 7. Plantain, the bandage of God. Call it by the name medieval healers gave it, the bandage of God. That name was not an accident. Plantain leaves contain a compound called aucubin, an iridoid glycoside with broad-spectrum antibacterial activity. When you crush fresh leaves and apply them to a wound, the aucubin converts into a natural antibiotic so potent it can inhibit Staphylococcus aureus, the very same methicillin-resistant staph that terrifies every hospital. The Cherokee didn't need a laboratory to know this. They just watched, and they used it for thousands of years, for cuts, burns, even snake bites. And now, you spray it with glyphosate. But before you run outside looking for plantain, let me tell you about something even bolder. A plant that paints your entire pathway yellow and gets hated by the whole world for it. Number 6. Dandelion, the liver abscess destroyer. If plantain is a humble healer, dandelion is an arrogant warrior, and probably the most despised plant on this list. But do you know why both traditional Chinese medicine and European folk medicine call dandelion root the liver detoxifier? Because inside that bitterly stubborn taproot sit taraxacin and inulin, two compounds that stimulate bile production, break up stagnation in the liver, and, this is the crucial part, inhibit the growth of gram-positive bacteria that cause internal abscesses. During World War II, when antibiotics were scarce, army nurses across Europe used dandelion root decoctions to wash infected wounds on soldiers. It wasn't a replacement for penicillin, but it saved many men from losing a limb. And the flavor? Roasted roots taste like smoke, earth, and a hint of dark chocolate bitterness. The French call dandelion coffee café de pissenlit. The young leaves are like wild arugula, nutty, pleasantly bitter, perfect in a salad with olive oil and lemon. But if you think dandelion is a rebel, wait until you meet number 5. Number 5. Purslane, the biofilm destroyer. Here's a succulent that crawls across the ground like a miniature invading army. And yes, it is the nightmare of anyone who obsesses over a perfect lawn. But purslane is one of the few plants on the planet that contains EPA form omega-3s, the same type you find in salmon, not the ALA variety in flaxseed. And that's only the beginning. What truly makes purslane a weapon is its system of mucilaginous polysaccharides in its stems and leaves. That slime, the slippery texture you feel when you chew it raw, has the ability to break down bacterial biofilms. Biofilms are the fortress shields bacteria use to resist antibiotics. Purslane melts that shield away and then lets your immune system do the rest. Mexicans call them verdolagas. They sauté them with garlic and chili, wrap them in tortillas with cotija cheese. The taste? Salty like the sea, barely sour like lemon, and with a satisfying crunch like young cucumber. From a plant that shatters bacterial fortresses, let's move to one that's even more audacious. A plant that never needs to break the fortress because bacteria never dare approach it in the first place. Number 4. Chickweed, the secret agent beneath the snow. There's a quiet dread every herbal gardener knows. Winter. When the ground freezes solid, when most medicinal plants sleep beneath inches of snow, infections do not sleep. But chickweed does not. This delicate plant, with its tiny star-white flowers, germinates in autumn, survives beneath the snow, and begins growing the moment temperatures hit freezing. Inside those slender stems are saponins, compounds capable of killing candida fungi and gram-negative bacteria that cause urinary tract infections. This is the emergency medicine cabinet of winter. Appalachian people called it poor man's poultice. They would crush the whole fresh plant, mix it with a little lard, and apply it to festering wounds, abscesses, even boils. The taste of young chickweed is like baby corn mixed with butter lettuce, sweet, cool, with a sensation like chewing a mouthful of dew. You can eat it raw in salads or flash saute it with butter and sea salt. But don't pick it after the flowers fade. By then the stems turn tough and bitter. And now, take a breath, because we're about to enter the territory of the most dangerous weed of all. Not dangerous to you, but to any bacteria foolish enough to invade your body. Number 3, stinging nettle, the blood infection burner. I know what you're thinking. That plant that stings like hell? You've got to be kidding me. No, I am completely serious. Stinging nettle, with its microscopic hairs loaded with histamine and formic acid that leave your skin burning for hours, is actually one of the most powerful plant antibiotics ever studied. Nettle root extract contains lectin UDA, urtica dioica agglutinin, a protein that binds to and neutralizes the cell membranes of drug-resistant gram-positive bacteria. During World War I, when cotton bandages ran out, the German army wove nettle fibers into wound dressings. What they didn't know was that those very fibers were silently disinfecting the wounds. But here's the magical part. Heat completely destroys the sting. Once you drop it in boiling water for 30 seconds, it transforms into a safe, delicious, leafy green, tasting like spinach but earthier, with whispers of damp soil and seaweed. Italians use it in risotto alle ortiche. The Irish make nettle soup with potatoes and onion. And now, we arrive at number 2, the weed I promised would make you sit up straight. Number 2, yarrow, the savior of Achilles. Look closely at this plant. Feathery leaves laced like fern fronds, clusters of tiny white flowers like clouds over a meadow. It looks fragile, doesn't it? Don't let that appearance fool you. Its Latin name, Achillea millefolium, comes from Achilles, the greatest warrior of Greek mythology. Legend says he carried yarrow into every battle and used it to save his soldiers from infected wounds. It sounds like pure myth until modern science stepped in. In 2018, a study at the University of Tehran proved that yarrow essential oil can destroy MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, in petri dishes with efficacy equivalent to the antibiotic vancomycin. Not almost as good, equivalent, against a bacterial strain that has rendered most drugs on the market useless. Its mechanism is terrifying. Yarrow doesn't just kill bacteria, it simultaneously activates your body's own macrophages, turning your immune system into a frenzied army that hunts down every last trace of infection. And the taste? Bitter as fate, aromatic as wild sage, with a subtle heat at the back of your throat. Swedes steep yarrow flowers in honey and vodka to make roll liqueur, a medicinal liquor drunk after dinner for digestion and gut disinfection. But even with all that power, yarrow still bows before number 1, a weed I am certain you've stepped on this week. A plant that grows in every sidewalk crack. A plant the ancient Saxons believed could defeat death itself. Number 1. Creeping Charlie, the vanquisher of necrosis. This is not just a weed, this is a manifesto of life itself. Creeping Charlie, or ground ivy, is the plant the perfect lawn industry has spent millions of dollars convincing you is an enemy. They call it invasive. They sell you selective herbicides to wipe it out. And while you're spraying chemicals onto it, you have no idea that you are killing one of humanity's most ancient plant antibiotics. The Anglo-Saxons called it alehouf. They didn't use it for minor wounds. They used it for the most horrifying things war and medieval life could inflict. Necrotic wounds. Ulcers that would not close. The Black Death on living flesh. The secret lies in glecamine and ursolic acid, 2 compounds inside those small, round leaves. Glecamine is an alkaloid with antibacterial activity so strong it can kill anaerobic bacteria, the kind that thrive in dead tissue, where there is no oxygen, where most antibiotics cannot reach. Ursolic acid simultaneously starves abscess-feeding blood vessels and stimulates healthy tissue regeneration. In other words, where modern antibiotics just bomb an infection, Creeping Charlie clears the battlefield and rebuilds the village at the same time. And its flavor? Picture a cross between mint, sage, and a hint of damp forest floor. It tastes like nothing you've ever tried. Germans brewed it with barley and hops as far back as the 10th century, before hops became the standard. They called it Groot beer. And in every sip of that ale, they drank not just intoxication, but health, protection against the fevers and infections that swept through villages each winter. This plant doesn't need you to care for it. It doesn't need you to water it. It crawls across concrete, across snow, across glyphosate itself if you didn't spray enough. It only needs you to stop killing it. And maybe that is the deepest lesson the garden is trying to teach us. Life does not demand perfection. It only demands permission to exist. I didn't make this video to tell you to throw away all your antibiotics. That would be irresponsible advice. I made it so you might pause for just 1 second the next time you bend down to pull a weed from a crack in the sidewalk. These plants were here millions of years before us. They have survived every pandemic, every war, every attempt we've made to eradicate them. Not because they are strong in the way we imagine strength, but because they remember something we have forgotten. True healing does not come from destroying something. It comes from restoring a balance that was lost. If you believe your garden doesn't need to be a perfect lawn, but a living medicine cabinet, an ally, a teacher, then I would be honored to walk this journey with you. I'll see you in the next video.